So, guys, quick question for you all. You know what? This is my first time doing this, so we're just going to roll with it here. And Zach, just jump in if I got anything wrong.
Yeah.
Question for you all. Do you ever get impatient when it comes to buying collectibles? I want to throw out an example here. So we'll talk about it on New this week, but recently got this Chrome Mando. Now, we know Season 3 is right around the corner. I know damn well this thing is not going to be full price for much longer, right? They're probably going to announce a new version here very soon. But I got impatient. I really wanted it. And so was able to secure like a decent deal, but I know it'll go lower. And so just question for you all. Do you ever just get impatient? Is it sometimes worth the trade-off to just have it in hand when you want it versus waiting a little bit for the sale? So yeah, that's it. What do you think, Zach?
Ooh. I like this. So I wouldn't say that I've gotten impatient with Hot Toys, because I think when you get impatient with things that are already like $300-400, to get it early, you're spending quite a bit of money. But the thing that I typically get impatient with is like Black Series or Marvel Legends. So like when Miles Morales hit, I want to say it was like last year or the year before, or like Echo and Omega. Like the second it hit San Antonio, I put out a post on the local group. It's like, if anyone finds one, I'll pay double for it. Like, you drop it off to my house, pay double. One, because our city is pretty bad for flipping, which I guess me doing that doesn't particularly help.
But it's not even worth your time to go out to the stores.
Yeah,
it's not
right? Worth my time to spend like 3 hours hitting up Targets and Walmarts. So in that way, yes. I am typically not a patient person, but I don't know that I've really ever found myself like paying a premium for 1/6 scale. Maybe the only other time was when Asmus announced the Gandalf the White. I mean, it was basically the same price to pre-order it from Asmus versus Sideshow. But Sideshow still hasn't gotten their stock yet, and I've had mine for almost like 3 months at this point.
For a minute, yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that's probably the only time. But again, it wasn't really a premium for that experience. I basically paid, no tax and like pretty high shipping. I think it was like $10 more than if I was to get it from Sideshow.
Yeah, that's worth the trade-off for a few months, no doubt about it. How about you, Dean?
I'm very impatient. I want to figure like when it's announced, not a year later. But I don't usually spend more to get things early, like Zach. I'll wait for a good deal. Like, I already don't own it. You know what I mean? Like, whether I get it a month later or even up to like a year later, I wait for the right deal.
And I guess it helps when you have a really healthy collection like yourself, and kind of where I'm getting to. It's like, I've got plenty of other things to keep me warm at night.
Right. Like, perfect example, just now with the Mark 6 that they announced last week. I was like, I'll sell my Mark 7 and I'll wait an entire year for the Mark 6, because like I don't need the Iron Man in my collection, because like I've already had so many that I could just do it out until then,
Absolutely.
So I traded my Mark 7 off, and I'll wait super patiently for a Mark 6. Because like, yeah, I'm super patient.
Look at this. Will says, I can't believe how good looking this panel is. And Lane Kramer with the super chat. So what's the chance of a Ben/Marco mullet in 2023?
They don't have the length for a while.
What a guy. Also, look at this.
I'd give it a go.
In the chat. Hope all you motherfuckers are watching my State of the Union address. Might have a mic drop on China at the end. IDK,
Oh my
LOL.
God. I know that's not the real Biden because there's no typos in there. So
I love the poorly educated.
Yeah, that ain't Biden because he's actually taking a stance on China.
Wow.
Because it was actually a coherent sentence. I love you, Joe.
By the way, Marco, I love that you strategically said that your Hot Toys keep you warm at night, and now Robin is just over your left shoulder.
That's right.
I know. I see how it's going. What did you tell Gigi when you slipped him under the covers?
Yeah, no, we sleep with at least 2 or 3 a night.
I like it. That's a keeper, actually, right
I like
there.
to put them in my pocket. So
she's a keeper.
I learned from the best.
Zach literally has action figures just in his car at all times.
3D prints rumbling around in there.
Let's be honest, I'm just a little bit jealous at the moment because I've been feeling impatient lately. I got my Robin like 15 days ago. I've been waiting on my Batman. I ordered them at the same time, paid them off at the same time. They definitely have not shipped
Yeah, that's
at the same
super
time.
weird.
And I'm getting, like, I haven't got any delayed emails, but it's still showing on the website that it's December to January. So I did call the other day and they're like, you can, like, we can refund your money. And I'm like, at this point, like, do I take the refunded money and buy it somewhere else? Do I just wait? Like, it's already paid. I don't really want the hassle. So, but it's, yeah, it's an interesting question, Marco, because I have definitely been feeling the impatient bug lately. I'm like, I want my Batman. I see it on everybody's shelf. It looks badass.
Absolutely. So would you be willing to pay a premium, let's say, like if you canceled it, would you be willing to pay like 25 to $50 more to just get it now?
That's nothing.
No, at this point,
That's
not.
nothing.
At this point, no. I've waited this long. I'm like, I'm going to wait a little bit longer, but it was a good lesson for me that even though it's paid and you kind of expected to get it within a certain time, it may not show up. So
There you go.
tough nut.
And like Zach was saying, 25 to $50 is nothing, but it could add up if you're impatient on a lot of stuff, right? But
Yeah, on a lot
I
of
kind of
stuff.
did the calculation with the Chromando, talking to Dr. Equan and say, okay, if it goes 25% off on Sideshow with $5 shipping, it would be this much. It's like, okay, I'd rather just spend a little bit more, have it now.
And you got a good deal though. I mean, it's not like
I
you
did.
got a bad
I did.
deal.
No, I would, and I used the CW code on Off the Rack, so happy about that. So yeah, I can sleep well at night.
I wouldn't.
With my
I
Hot
wouldn't
Toys
lose
in the
too
bed.
much sleep. Yeah, I wouldn't lose too much sleep on that.
I will not be.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection. These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that mattered the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank everybody listening at home, on the replay, on whatever platform that you're listening to this. On. Sorry, that tripped me up. Bunch of angels.
Oh, look at this. Look at these guys. My apologies. It is my fault that we are late. I'm on daddy duty tonight. Victoria's out of town. She'll be back probably right when we're wrapping up the show. But yeah, John should hopefully be here any minute. We got Toy Mafia in the chat. SpongeBob, Squareballs, Mark Pearson, Vane21. If someone sells all their Hot Toys, are they still allowed on this panel? I'm just asking for a friend. Doc Smizzle, Universal Key, King Dingaling, Erwin, Lane, The Legend Kramer, Dante's Boneyard. Who else do we got here? DJ, it's 8:45. Why is the show not starting? Can I speak to the manager, please? That is I, and it is my apologies. Pablo Meza, Slifer 718, Juan, Sweet Angel, Lane Kramer again, Joe Biden. Love to see it. Let's see who we get here. Vane says, I'm terribly impatient with statues. Definitely.
I should have a statue coming like any time now, and it's not here yet. I'm like, fuck.
Wow. Dr. Will Fox Vacation, Captain Crockpot S Beam, Payton 21, Big Dog Pound 1. Look at all those people in the chat. Tremble Dust, S Beam, all these angels. Again, I apologize for being late. Baby Boy 562, Anthony, Thule, some guy, John Ortiz, Jason Nelson, Sweet Angel. We gotta talk about Jason here in a bit. And then Sean Breeze, what's up, collectors? Shout out to the baby family, Baby Girl 707. We have a great show planned for you guys, as per usual. And Dean, we start off all the best shows with a very special segment.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I actually did have a new this week. My sister surprised me with it's a music box from Final Fantasy VII. I can't.
Yeah, I was like, we're get claimed.
Yeah. It's one of those like twisty ones, and it's like ding, ding, ding. It's really cute. And it's my favorite song from the entire game. So that was really nice because I wasn't expecting it. It was like for Just Because gift. I was like, oh my goodness. So shout out to her. She's so sweet.
What's the song, Dean?
Ahead on Our Way. I'll send it to you on Facebook because it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful song.
I mean, I kind of wanted to hear. I wanted to hear you sing it, but
oh well, there's no words.
Wow. That's how talented he is. He can sing without words.
Yeah,
sing without words.
Marco, you got some cool things here.
Yes, I did. So I will say, got these new, the new Magic case set up here, and I'm already out of room, so I should probably not be adding figures, but an incredible deal on the Stormtrooper leader there, right? So I think it was like $175, $185 on Sideshow with, I want to say $5 shipping, and I had a bunch of points, so got it for like $108 shipped. I don't have that many Stormtroopers. This feels like a good one to add at that price, so was able to add that. And then, like I mentioned,
Trooper is a good addition.
I'm not a huge Trooper guy because I'm in the Hot Toys for like the head sculpts, but Stormtrooper, the design is so beautiful. You can't have too many, I think. And then this Crow Mando, again, one I wanted to wait for. I kind of planned on it. Just got the standard. I don't think I needed all the deluxe accessories. But I needed that Pedro Pascal head sculpt with him kind of killing it in Last of Us. I saw him on SNL this weekend. Of course, Mando Season 3 coming up. I was jonesing for some Pedro Pascal, so happy to add that one and unbox both of these. It was a little weird, right? But it's cool.
I'm so jealous. I was considering it, and I think you got the last one and off the racks. And I think you disappointed a few of the other Patreonies that were eyeing that final piece
I slid in. I was, and I think he's fully out now of both the deluxe and standard.
Yeah.
So it's a hot item right now.
I hate you so much. Well, congratulations. So I had a pretty good week. And thanks to the listeners, right? Jason Nelson, friend of the show. I had been looking for this Samus. I think it's from like the Joy of Nintendo line. It's like their $10, 5-inch scale figure line. And at one point when I first started collecting, I had owned the Figma Samus. Beautiful figure, but it never really felt quite right. It just didn't really remind me of the original games. Because it's like this like orange, like candy paint, chrome armor. Like it's just too much for me. Too nice for a simple man like myself. And so when I saw this, I was like, yo, I absolutely need this. Jason found it. He was nice enough to bring it to my house, and he gave it to me as a gift, and I will treasure it. It's really cool. It comes with the morph ball. Not the most posable figure, but I think you can get some pretty decent Samus poses in it. And then I didn't have a picture of it, but I also ended up finding the Breath of the Wild Link from this same line, so I'm excited to own both of those.
Yeah, I need all three of these.
Yeah, and then the Zelda.
Zelda, Link, and Samus, yeah. As much as I talk shit about Nintendo, I did grow up on Nintendo. So.
Come on, yeah, these are all... And that price seems pretty reasonable, too, for that scale.
It's like $10, it's like $11.
Yeah, $9.99.
That's awesome.
I haven't seen them. Is it Zelda from Ocarina of Time? Like in
Breath of the Wild.
Or
Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so it's like the
That's
blue
actually like my
tunic.
favorite Zelda look, because she's like... Looks like she could also just like be on an adventure. Because like every other game, she's like in like full on like princess attire, which is cool in its own way.
Well, I think in Breath of the Wild, she has like the tunic also, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the game that Bennett said.
Because like,
she was more princess mode.
She's got her iPad.
What's the Twilight Princess? I love that look for her in Twilight Princess, and they make the Figma, and it's a beautiful figure, but like. She's half skirt, so like there's no articulation that be had there, and you can't really do any cool poses, say for like her arms. So to have her in like a adventure kind of outfit is like I've always wanted one of those. So yeah, I haven't found any in the wilds ever. So
and the best part was like I was meeting up with another listener, Rico, for to pick up a figure, and I was like, I'm just gonna check Walmart. Like I was here a few days ago. There's no way. And the one Nintendo figure on the peg was the exact one I was looking for.
Nice.
A rare treat.
They're by Jax, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like like there's like the Mario stuff, and then it's like
the
next to the
Sonic
Mario stuff.
Yeah, it's
the
really
Sonic stuff.
frustrating because like you can't buy these online. It's like the weirdest fucking thing.
There's not a lot of reviews on them either, so maybe one day that will be a piece of content I make if I ever get out to making content. So Mark Pearson, what a fucking guy. What a guy. He sent me so much stuff. Like Mark is an angel. So I had been obviously working on this N1, and I wanted to like put a little shelf together of like some different characters from Tatooine. And so TVC stuff like the Gonk Droid or R5, like the classic OT stuff, is hard to find. It's also quite expensive if you can find it. The Jawas also. I think this Jawa is by far the best one. And he sent me a package with a bunch of stuff, like a Clone Wars Anakin and Ahsoka TVC, like stuff that I just don't have that's like inconveniently expensive. And what a sweet angel, just shipped it, and yeah, I love that guy. So I've added to my N1 display. And what's really nice is when I was building this, I was like, man, like, why is this like dome so huge? And it's because it's fit the TVC R5. It just kind of slots right in. So that was really neat to see how that works.
That's really awesome.
And then I printed up. These are a little dark. I need to go and like dry brush them with a little bit of tan paint. But I was just too excited to get them sort of in the little display. But Pelly has three pit droids, and I found a guy that had made some files based on the Clone Wars animation look. I knew that if I printed the actual accurate skeleton of these guys, they would just snap immediately. And funny enough, these ones were basically snapping left and right. But I printed out 3 probe droids, or what are these, pit droids, and they're kind of like posed in different like tech poses. Like one has like a little torch, one has like a big wrench and like a power converter, and the other guy is just like grabbing onto the ship with a wrench. So I just kind of did a quick little paint up on those, and they came out great. And then I also printed out a little BD-72 in TVC scale, which those little antennae are like so fragile, and I don't understand how they haven't broke yet.
Dude,
I didn't
can't even
that.
see
That's
him in
awesome.
there.
I know,
amazing.
so cool.
Yeah, because he has that one little part where he like does a little hologram on the ship, which is awesome. And there's the Jawa. So really, really thankful that we have this great community of people. And it's just, really warms my heart. So, but looking at this, kind of seeing everything together, I've already been thinking like, damn, like there's things I could do better on the N1. There's like, things I would have done differently. And so I've started a second one, and hopefully I can document some of the process on that one, because I know that was a big complaint for some people. So I'm already almost done with the print. It's just a matter of assembling it and then, sanding it and kind of getting all the details right. So I'm like 70% sure that'll be a thing, but at least I have all the parts printed. So whenever I have time, I can, kind of putz with it here and there.
You were soliciting ideas for 3D prints, and if you ever did a 6-scale BD, I know we're going to get a Hot Toys one, but I'd be interested in some alternate colors that you might see in the game. So,
oh yeah, just let me know. I have the file and just scaling them up to whatever 6-scale.
We are getting a 6-scale one.
They're making a 3-pack. It's the
that's
one
right.
pit droid R5 and then BD-72.
Instead of 2 fucking pit droids.
Well, you would need 3, but yeah. It's unfortunate. But yeah, that could be done. The one thing though, if I do print BDs in 6-scale, what I'm going to do is in the 3D model add 2 holes for like paper clips for the little prongs or little antenna.
There you go. Just do it yourself, paper clip.
Yeah, because they're like, I literally don't understand how these haven't snapped yet. I don't understand.
Looks very fragile.
But yeah, this whole setup like would have been nothing without Mark Pearson. So I got the shelf, got it all hung up, got it all leveled out, and then Mark was the sweet angel that really brought it all together. So now I'm just waiting for TVC Palimato, which they fucking could take more time if they needed. Jesus Christ. And eventually, I guess at some point, maybe I'll have the Hasbro one on this display. But really happy with my custom one so far.
That's awesome, buddy.
Let's get into the news. But actually, Ben, you wanted to add something here? Sorry, I missed that.
It's all good. At the beginning, I was going to have a cold open if we didn't have one earlier, because I woke up in the middle of the night last night to a call from Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Messenger. at
I did
what was it 1:30 in the morning? I woke
Yeah,
up
it
from
was
a
a long
cold.
call.
I was a cold dead sleep, and like the alarm starts going off. I guess I didn't have it in silent mode. Nobody ever calls me on Messenger. It starts ringing. Shauna wakes up.
dying.
She's like, "What's happening?" Like we're thinking we're getting an emergency call. I look over, and it's the
Amber Alert.
Gabagools chat. The Gabagools chat, and Dean is looking at me with a call, and I'm like, "Oh my god." And I hung up and went back to sleep. And I just had to say, I am really tired today. I might look a little tired, and it's because of this motherfucker right here waking me up in the middle
It
of
wasn't
the
a
night.
butt dial you actually called.
No, it wasn't butt dial.
I see. Oh, so
You
I,
butt
so I
dialed
saw
for
your
a
ass.
long
then.
time, though.
It was a
Did it really?
It was like it. You rang, and I was not able to answer the phone. I'll say that. And then like
You died.
later, the call was still on. I was like, "Wow, you're still there."
Oh man, yeah. So I guess what happened is I was sitting on that chair that you gave me, Zach, that big comfy
I
one.
missed that chair.
It's so good.
If you ever get rid of it, let me know.
And I'm obviously a big guy, so like I don't need to put my phone in my pocket. I could just like put it like between my.
That's disgusting, Dean.
What?
Between what?
My thigh and the sofa, and it
Oh,
won't
okay.
fall.
Okay, yeah.
What the fuck, Zach? Anyway, I guess like I had unlocked the phone before I put it there, and I guess like it just, hit the call button on accident. But yeah, I had no idea that was happening. My bad.
I was concerned.
I woke up this morning and showed Shauna that it wasn't some random girl calling me in the middle of the night.
Does that happen often, man?
No, thankfully, but I was like, who
Oh man,
would
I
be
wish I had my
calling me
first
right
name on
now?
there.
Right? Sexy Dean.
Sydney.
Sydney.
It wasn't some hottie that had Star Trek questions in the middle of the night. That's a shocker.
Sydney Dean. Yeah, who is Sydney? Oh my god. Anyways,
Wow.
sorry to derail the show, but I
That
just had to
was-
get that out of my system because I'm quite tired today as a result.
Thank you, Pablo. Ant-Man and the Wasp were announced by Hot Toys. These are $279 releasing April to September 2024. I'll be honest, and I think Hot Toys is aware of this too, but I don't like the portrait on the Paul Rudd sculpt. I think it could be better. But I will say Hot Toys typically does the Ant-Man figures really well. I think this is their third or their fourth one. They've learned from past mistakes. They didn't give him a goofy smile, so
Zach, when you mention that Hot Toys knows it, you're referencing this like kind of fine print here where it says head sculpt is work in progress, update
Exactly.
announcement coming soon.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they have to know. And I would say in a way I still don't think that we should pre-order, based on this, but this is much better than when they don't put it and people pre-order and they just kind of hope and pray that they change it. So I don't know that it means that it will be better, but at least it means that they know that it is in progress.
And I've got the Civil War Ant-Man, and I'm pretty sure this is a reworked version, if not the same thing, from Civil War, which is decent, but not great. So glad to know they will update it.
To be fair, Paul Rudd does not fucking age. That dude.
No doubt. Eh?
So handsome, dude. But yeah, it's kind of fucking crazy how like not great the Paul Rudd sculpt is, but the fucking Wasp head sculpt is shrink ray. It's so good to me. Like that looks like the actress. Like it's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
I think they look fantastic.
I like the hair, the sculpt on the hair on the Wasp figure. I think it looks excellent.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some hate for the Wasp figure portrait, but I mean, she's also older now as an actress. Like her hair does look like this. I agree. I think it looks exactly like her, to be honest. I was happy to see the fine print on the Paul Rudd, to be honest, just because I do see the likeness there to Paul, but there was some like weird droopiness in the eyes. I think if they fix that, I think it'll actually be pretty solid. So I don't have an Ant-Man figure, and I've been kind of waiting for this film. I'm anticipating enjoying it. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high yet, because I don't want to feel disappointed if I don't. But Kang's going to be awesome. I feel like this is going to be a great movie. It's going to make me want an Ant-Man figure, like guaranteed. And if this is the offering we get, I'm hoping that they do tweak it like they said they might.
Ben, you know what would be a good thing to do is wait until people offload the one from the previous version with that smiling sculpt, because you probably wouldn't have it with the sculpt on anyways, right? So I guess depending on
hard to say, because Paul Rudd is one of those faces that like would be funny to have in your collection. It's like, oh shit, that's Paul Rudd, you know, and like Shauna likes Paul Rudd, and so Paul Rudd is just a funny word to say. So. But no, I that one might actually be a figure I like have him holding his helmet as opposed to helmeted. But I didn't hate the smiling sculpt as much as some folks did either. So it's kind of funny.
Dude, I've been needing a Paul Rudd head sculpt in my collection for the longest time.
There's got to be some good customs floating around out there, but I don't know if I'd want to pay that kind of money.
Well, I just really want to make a Bobby Newport.
Bobby Newport, that's amazing. We were watching some Parks and Rec this weekend, actually.
Yeah. Well, because I did a custom Andy with the Guardians 1 head sculpt.
That's amazing.
Zach made me a custom Ron Swanson. So it'd be really cool to have a Bobby Newport.
That would be so great.
So maybe I'll track down that goofy smiling one.
Yes, that actually was perfect.
Yeah, so... But these look really good, and I've been really wanting, not only because I want a Paul Rudd head sculpt, but I really do want an Ant-Man in my collection. So maybe I'll get these. Maybe I'll look for a set from their second movie. So
there you go. And I want to point out the kind of the build a figure or build a diorama that they're doing with this. It's interesting that with Wasp you get Ant-Man, and with Ant-Man you get the Wasp. It's kind of cool, right? Because you can kind of display them together. It's a bummer if you wanted. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, it's a great idea because just buying one, you can get like that display still, right? Like you know, the Wasp. If you just want the Wasp, then you can still have a representation of Ant-Man in the package, or vice versa. I like it. I almost say I'd like it less if it was like Ant-Man was packed in with Ant-Man.
Yeah, true. No,
we've already gotten
like
plenty of
Ant-Man.
Yeah, we've already gotten plenty of Ant-Mans with Ant-Man.
It would just be a bummer if you wanted just the one and the small version of them, right? That would be the only downside, but they look so good together. It could be worth. Go ahead, Dean.
Go ahead.
No. That's all I was going to point out.
I was going to say, then I guess Cassie is going to come with a small Cassie.
You would assume, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, I guess.
Everyone is like Wasp would have Cassie.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I'm kind of shocked that they're doing a Cassie. I mean, obviously they haven't announced it officially, but we saw the teaser. I like that she comes with these Converse as well. Like that's a pretty cool, change up from the standard.
When I saw this, my initial reaction was like, that's kind of goofy. And then I was like, if I was in a fucking superhero outfit, I'd want some comfortable ass shoes too. So I actually really like the Converse.
You wouldn't wear ankle sleeves, Dean?
Fuck no.
Boot sleeves?
Boot sleeves, yeah.
And I guess the last thing I have to say about these is I'm hoping they're going to do a King. It feels like that's what they're, leaning towards. We'll get these three and a King, right? Like, I don't know how they don't do it, but that would be the must-have for me, just knowing how important he's going to be. And obviously not the last version we'd get, but I really like this costume from what we've seen in the film. So incredibly excited for that release.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I'm still hoping we get the Namor though too. Like I haven't forgot about Wakanda Forever. I just rewatched it again on Disney Plus the other night. I'm like, I want one.
On purpose?
On purpose. I enjoyed that movie. You didn't like
movie.
it, Dean? How are we even friends anymore, Dean? Okay, you're calling me in the middle of the night. You don't like Dark Knight. Like it's slipping.
If it's
by.
good, you can count on Dean not liking it.
Wow.
I'll tell you that. But no, we need that Namor as well. Come on,
100%.
Come on, Hot Toys. It's not too late. And Andor figures.
It'd be like our
Where are these
second
at?
Latin.
Yeah,
figure
where the fuck are all the
ever.
Andor?
The two Latinos, and they're not giving us them, and
Hot
I'm
Toys
a little bit
Vasquez
salty.
And Namor. It seems kind of racial. Yeah, there's that.
And we don't know that Luis is in this movie or not, but if he's not,
He wasn't at the premiere.
Right.
So
I feel like he's going to show up, though.
They already had
Might
the
be
premiere?
I don't know. Probably. What if the third figure is Luis?
Bro, come on.
Dude, what if it is?
It's the top of the van that he's jumping over. Come on.
Oh, I'm pretty sure someone can play with this photo and brighten it up, but that would be hilarious. Oh, they did give us a Pedro. Look at that. Look at that. Then they gave us the Latin sculpt. Yeah,
you're right. You're onto something. You're onto something there.
You're right. Look at that. So this is interesting. It's a little bit outside of what we talk about. But I had to mention it because this is like, even my friends that don't watch anime are watching Chainsaw Man.
Dude,
but Fig Zero
watching
in their 1/6 scale line, they're releasing a Denji and Power figure. We don't have to spend too much time on this, but I think this looks fucking awesome. You get 2 different looks for the character, obviously the chainsaw stuff and then the not chainsaw look. The different heads, different arms, lots of hands, different portraits. I think this is great. And then for Power, again, a very expressive figure. You get the ponytail that comes on and off. Actually, that's a different hair sculpt, rather. Excuse me. Some different accessories, plenty of hands, and very expressive portraits. So, yeah, I think this is great.
I am out of the loop. I have not heard of this. I've not heard of this show.
I can't get away from this show.
Really?
I haven't started it, but everyone I talk to that like watches anime is like, dude, Chainsaw Man. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like my bag. But I said the same thing about Demon Slayer, and I ended up loving Demon Slayer. So
you said the same thing about Merlin, and you loved Merlin.
What? I never said anything about Merlin.
You were like, Zach's watching this fucking show called Merlin. Like, you were like talking.
I didn't have high hopes for it, but I wasn't like, oh, this is dumb.
No, come on. These are really reasonably priced. $149. They're releasing Q3 2023. Tremble Dust says, not holding my breath at Andor Figs. No 1/6 Bix. You hate to see
Travesty.
it. I need mommy Bix ASAP. Now, Premier Toys, the Eagle Warrior. Ben, you had added this one to the show sheet. You might have to fill me in just a bit, but this one's coming out Q3 2023 at $240 plus shipping.
Mm-hmm. That's what Kit had it on for, at least at this point. Shipping was, I think, with this shipping kit was $280, I believe. But this figure or character is from the new Black Adam film. So it was Hawkman from Black Adam. And, I think the figure itself actually looks pretty cool for the most part, considering it's a third party. Is it something I would add to my collection? Probably not, honestly, at this point. I didn't love the Black Adam movie, and I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether I'm going to get that character. I do like Dwayne Johnson, though, so I feel like it might be the only opportunity I get to get a good Dwayne Johnson in my collection. And I didn't hate the movie by any stretch either. This character specifically, I was lukewarm on him. I feel like I didn't have much of a connection to the character. He had some badass scenes, but otherwise, I don't want to say a forgettable performance because that's a little mean, but it wouldn't be somebody that I was like immediately wanting to collect. If I could get him on a really good deal, might be something different. But the wings still look pretty cool. I'd be curious to see how the gold paint is going to hold up, stuff like that, especially with articulation and posing. And of course, this figure does have the joints that you can see. I know, Zach, you like joints. I really don't anymore. I really like the look of Seamless.
You smoke every night.
I was going to say.
Also true.
Why don't you like joints?
I need to start rethinking my life. No, I don't love the joints. I like the seamless look. So yeah, for me, I'm very lukewarm on this. But I was surprised none of you guys were talking about it, so I had to show you for sure.
You know what? This design translates better into a figure than it did on screen. It looked so incredibly goofy in the movie, which I think was intentional. But this is actually kind of a sweet looking figure. So I didn't hate the Black Adam film. I kind of liked this character as well because he was just so sincere or like so earnest, I would say. So yeah, like a cool, I'm interested to see how it comes out. I definitely don't think it's for my collection, but cool that someone's stepping up to give us this because Hot Toys ain't going to do it. So
yeah, summon your eagle powers.
That's right.
What do you think eagle powers?
Why the fuck do we not have a friggin' Hot Toys Nacho or some third party like
with some sweats?
An Esqueleto and Nacho, dude, that'd be a cool shelf.
Dude, corn accessory, the deluxe with the freaking little scooter.
Oh my, you're fucking
the wrestling ring.
The eggs were alive, Steven.
Can we call Andy live right now and be like, listen, Iconic's next character has to
be. That'd be amazing.
It'd be a day one, bro. I've long wanted to do one, but I don't know. I feel like it could be done, but
are you gonna get an Eagle Warrior for your collection, Zach?
No. Speaking of things I won't be getting for my collection, So Toys Prince Rogers Nelson. This one is 180, releasing Q3 2023. Well, it's there. I think it would go great with Marco's basketball hoop for the game blouses look, but I mean, outside of that, it's not terrible, like on that right photo of the portrait. But boy, I'm not digging the left. I think it's the lighting, but I think it's okay.
Is this licensed in any way? Because like that's like his full last name.
Nope. So Toys is typically not licensed. Not that I know of.
This is not licensed.
Because what's WinC? What's that down there?
I believe that's the company that makes like the big diorama bases. Could be wrong. WinC Studios.
Yeah, because usually like the third party have like weird names, right? Like,
I think Prince has a weird name. So
he does have a really weird name, to the point where I wasn't sure if this was his actual real name. I'm a big fan, obviously, but yeah, I didn't realize that
either. So.
When I typed it out, I thought I was on the treadmill and I was trying to type out Rogers. It was hard to read.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I would expect it to be called like, I don't know, the artist, like the artist formerly known as Prince, like
the man in purple.
Or that weird like fucking squiggly line.
Yeah, have some
I would even order that.
But like this is real name, so I'm like, what the fuck? I was confused. More musicians is better. Prince has a lot of fans. Pretty iconic guy, so I think it's cool to see. I wouldn't own this, but I know somebody out there's like, finally, you know what I mean? So I think it's cool.
You're not wrong. Obviously, I think just for my own nostalgia in life, I'm clearly more into movies and shows and that kind of medium for figures to own in my collection. Musicians obviously play such a huge role in our lives, right? And so I think there are those folks out there that are going to and may not even be figure collectors and be like, I still want that in my collection. Like, they might just be straight up Prince fans. I know Shauna's stepdad is a huge Kiss fan. If you could get 1/6 versions of the band, like the Kiss band, he'd be all over that. Not something I'd buy, but I mean, they could make pretty cool figures too, I'm sure, at that scale. So this isn't one that's going to come to my collection, but again, thought it was cool to note it anyways, for the sake of those musicians that we always see down the line.
Yeah, Ben, you're so right. This is kind of like one of those gateway figures, right? So-So's a little bit more niche, so I don't know that if someone isn't in the 1/6 game, they would end up with this in their hands. But let's say that they did. This is definitely something that someone may be like, oh, what else do they make in this like scale, and go deep down a line. But I totally agree. It's like refreshing to see something that's not like superhero or Star Wars related. They can kind of break away from that and give us a musician, or like I've been saying, sports figures. We just need a bit more variety. So I don't think it looks particularly great, but in terms of the sculpts, but I think overall the figure looks nice. And I'm not a huge Prince person, but would be cool if someone really does like them to have that representation. So cool that they're doing it, but definitely not something that I love how the prototype looks or something that I need for my collection, but definitely support the concept.
I also like the fact that So-So's pretty consistent with their pricing. Like, they haven't, everything seems like it's going up in price lately, and you can almost bet when a So-So release comes out, it's going to be in that 180 range, which I do appreciate, because then it makes me look for their releases more often as those time slots where I don't maybe have as much money set aside, but I still want to bring a figure into the collection. Trimble Dust says, I think Win C did the guitar. Did you mention that on your stream at S-Beam? It's a very random comment.
It's very possible that I'm talking out my ass, but yeah, for some reason I thought that they did bases, but that probably sounds much more accurate.
And something that we could... Oh, go ahead, Zach. Sorry about that.
No, just quickly, I do like the little pics too. I like that with the logo, like the Prince symbol. I like that.
That's awesome. I didn't actually catch that. No, sorry to cut you off, but we're just going to say, maybe we can talk about it one of these days on the show, but when we talk about third party and it's like some not generic superhero, but let's say like a Marvel character, like a Wolverine, it's tough to be like a completely consumer and not like where to draw the line, but in terms of like a dead artist, does that make anyone feel icky at all? Like, okay, like it's no funds are really going to his estate because it's a knockoff. Does that like give anyone bad vibes? Again, like it's hard to be on a soapbox when we're collecting things that are made, you know.
It doesn't, like, I know I saw a comment once, and it was for the third party Godfather 2 Michael Corleone, and it was like, you know, like, this is fucked up, like this is taking money out of Al Pacino's pocket, and the guy wrote back and he's like, man, Al Pacino would never give a damn about me. So yeah, I was like, fuck that guy.
That's
like,
incredible.
I mean, I like Al Pacino, but that motherfucker's living large. Like, you know, the fucking few pennies or dollars he would have gotten from me is nothing. Yeah.
She's got
no,
it.
I don't feel.
Why don't you make a toy of yourself?
It kind of went into Morgan Freeman a little bit there.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but like I said, I don't want to be like hypocritical because it's hard to draw a line because there's definitely plenty of shady shit that we participate in as a consumer.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah,
speak for yourself.
If they made a toy of Morgan Freeman, I'd be the first one to buy it.
They got the third party one.
They have the one from fuck, what was that movie? No, well, that one too. God,
Shawshank,
Jesus Christ, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Both of those look terrible. Now this is neat. So we actually had leaked photos of this in the show sheet.
So cool.
And I think because of the leaks, they had to push forward the announcement, or maybe it was always supposed to be today. But Lego Rivendell. This is a $500 set releasing March. I want to say March 1st. It is incredible. Now you might look at this and say, "Is this worth $500?" Maybe, but when you really think about what you're getting in this package versus the cost of these things today, like a few years back when I made Bag End, it was between a Rivendell mock or Bag End. And the reason why I didn't do the Rivendell mock with the Fellowship was because at that time it was like almost $600 to buy the Fellowship in Lego. Used, like kind of beat up condition, you're looking at $450. So the fact that you get the entire Fellowship plus extra characters in this, and also like 5,000 building blocks for $500 is a pretty fucking sweet deal. The minifigs are great. They're all updated. I want to say every single figure has some improvements from their 2012 counterparts. You get a lot of different areas that you can display figures in. You got the sort of the secret council meeting. You have Bilbo's room. You have Frodo's room. You have the shards of Narsil. You have a ton of different little parts of this mock. And I don't want to really show all the photos and spoil everything, but it is a really nice build that you have. It's quite large. I want to say it like kind of breaks in half where you can display it in a few different ways. But yeah, this is absolutely incredible. You get some amazing little pieces of art. There's Sauron getting his finger and the ring cut off. I mean, this is a stunning set by Lego. And like I said, initially we had just a blurry leaked photo, which confirms two other sets. One we're probably not going to talk about. But we'll get to the other one here in a second. But here's a look at the minifigs. So you got Gandalf and Old Bilbo, Boromir, Legolas. I want to say these are generic elves, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have Frodo and Sam, and then you have Arwen and Aragorn. You have a dwarf, and then Gimli. Gimli kind of rolled up with like 2 or 3 dwarfs, so they give you one. Sam and Pippin. And what's nice is these now have dual molded legs. So in the past, they just had pants with no feet. Now all the Hobbit minifigs have the dual molded legs, which is really nice. And also to note, I want to say that the helmet and the beard piece are also new on Gimli. And Gandalf comes with this new gray skirt piece, which is really nice.
Does he come with the appropriate staffs?
Yeah, this one is good enough for me. And then you have Elrond. So this is really neat stuff. 15 minifigs. Really amazing stuff. I guess the dwarf is glowing. I did not know that, but you get all kinds of different little key play areas. In addition to the ones I mentioned earlier, Elrond's study, the Elven Tower featuring 5 elven statues of famous warriors from the past. You get a gazebo I like gazebos. And you also get, like I mentioned, 15 minifigs. And this one's actually 6,167 pieces. So this is March 5th for VIP members and March 8th worldwide. This is legendary stuff. I will be getting this. I've already convinced Victoria to have a strong maybe. So just a little bit more pushing is required.
I really like Mario's comment in the chat, El Profesoro. Who would ever have thought there'd be a time where we'd have to decide to spend $500 on Lord of the Rings merch from this Lego set or in our Aragorn.
Oh,
Very
this
true.
is very easy decision, Mario. I'm 100% spending $500 on this over the NR Aragorn. I like the Aragorn, but that if I buy that leads me to like purchasing $4,000 more worth of figures. So that's
not
too
only
much money.
that, but this will only get more expensive.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, not that the in-art wouldn't, but this will always kind of have that. Lego has crazy value where it's like you might spend fucking $200 on one of these minifigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially now because they're the updated versions, as opposed to maybe the original ones that came out like a decade ago. So, yeah, this is an insane set. This is so cool. I love it.
How long until these normally sell out? Like, so it's for the like special membership initially, and then it gets a wider release.
Yeah, so Lego, the way that Lego does it is they will actively produce these for a few years, and they will give you like a pretty good heads up as like retiring soon or like low stock, and then eventually they will just one day sell out and not go back into stock. But in theory, like they just retired their UCS Star Destroyer, which was in print for a few years. So I'm not saying that every set is like that or every license is like that. This is a new license for them that they haven't had in a while, so it may be different. But I mean, I would expect reasonably that it would be hard to find for most people the day of the release, but probably within a month you should be able to just go into a Lego store and grab one. Once it sells out or once it gets to like low stock, at that point it's pretty hard, and the prices are usually gone up by quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I know it's not from this specific scene, but I guess Bilbo isn't either. Does he have the evil face on the back side of his head? Do we know?
Yeah.
He does. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, it shows the evil
original
face right there, so I'm assuming it's got a regular face.
Is that the evil face that he's got on right there?
Oh, I thought that was like just a smiling
regular
face.
No,
Yeah.
he's definitely.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Look at that.
Ah,
Look at that,
hey.
Dean. What
There
a
you go.
terrible thing that they've done to include that terrible face.
Terrible
I think this is so amazing, guys. Like, to me, this is like one of the coolest things. The fact that we saw the leak, and then since like last year, it's been rumored. Like, we covered this on the Ringcast, the leak, like when it first leaked, like a year ago plus. That's how like long people have known this has been coming.
The only thing I don't like about this set is the Gandalf, when he's wearing his hat, doesn't have hair. So it just looks like generic wizard. But he does come with an alternate hairpiece, which is nice. But it's like, you could have fit some kind of hairpiece under that hat.
Could they have like
Legos do
sculpted
all
it
kinds
to
of
the
stuff.
hat as well?
Yeah, they could have done that too.
It's tough. You are right. Like, I think
a
they
good
do need
catch.
to make a new mold.
I didn't notice
But
that.
the ones that have it can't curl the way that his hair should, and it looks weird. But they do make a wizard hairpiece, but it's straight and it kind of flares out so you can still turn the head.
Yeah.
Which I guess wouldn't really matter because his beard doesn't turn with the head anyways. So.
Right. So it's like, because go to the one where it's just his hairpiece. You had a picture of it
This
a
one?
second ago.
Yeah,
you-
it's just down there.
I wonder how
yeah,
Lego
it's
would
like-
make a golem then as a result.
There it is.
Oh,
Okay.
If that's possible.
well, no, this isn't. This
Oh,
is
that's
the,
just a
this is
generic.
glowing. Yeah.
You had me going, Dean. I was thinking the same.
Yeah, so they do make a golem. He's like a.
Oh, do they?
He's like
I've never
hunched
seen it.
over. He's like a pre-posed, and then his arms and legs move, or his arms move. He looks weird. Not a fan.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a Lego shaped head though, does he? Or does he? I want to see this now.
Here, let me just pull it up.
With like a peg sticking out of it, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Or is it like you said, like a pre-molded?
He looks kind of like a. I don't. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But he's just.
Yeah, but
looks
anyway,
like Ben Thomas didn't
the
get enough
Gandalf
sleep.
kind of made me mad. I was like, that's just like
Yeah.
generic wizard.
Oh,
Yeah.
creepy.
Ew.
That's creepy as hell. Cool.
That's how Ben
I like
looks
it.
at 1:30 a.m. when Dean's calling.
Like, oh my God, why is Dean calling me my precious?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Got a solid maybe, huh? That's awesome.
Hey, that's better than a no. When I said the Razor Crest, she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Mark
got that anyway.
Oh, no, the Lego Razor Crest.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have that one. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. And then, so I talked to, we had seen 2 other leaks. One, we don't have a photo of. It's the Deku tree from, Zelda.
Lord of the Rings, Zelda. Yeah.
Which, obviously that's unrelated to this. But the one that we did care to share that was more relevant was Barad-dûr. So this is, I want to say, 5,000 pieces, or 4,000 pieces, and this is releasing late 2023 to early 2024. So these are, I guess, like they hand out, like, for the stores or for, like, the higher-ups, like, confidential, like, just little thumbnail photos of, like, different sets that they're working on. And so that's where this was taken from. So given that the photo that leaked with this was Rivendell with the same confidential, shit on it, like, pretty confident we're going to see this next. So I'm very excited for that. And it's just great to see, all the cool things going on with Lord of the Ring at the moment. We got the TV show, you got some Lego stuff, new Asmus figures, new in-art figures. Almost feels like a golden age.
That first photo you showed.
The fourth age.
That first photo you showed, was that an official Lego picture then? Is like it came from Lego or somebody?
Yeah, all these photos are from Lego. Yeah,
it looks like it's on top of some grandma's dresser. Like that's such a random placement for.
It gives you good scale though. Like you understand how big the set is the moment you see that.
It's like at grandma's house. You love to see it. Zach already owns this house. That's his dresser.
That's my dresser. That's right. I wish. Yeah, so friendly reminder, we're not technically sponsored by either of these 2 companies, but if you guys want to save some money, you can. $10 off your next purchase on 16kit using code CW10, the numbers 10, and Off the Racks Collectibles. Now, the 16kit coupon is on your first purchase. The Off the Racks is on any purchase, $15 off a $100 purchase or more with code CW. Just note that the sale, if you're doing a pre-order rather, it only applies the discount to the final payment, so you'll pay the deposit up in full. But yeah, they have some great figures there, like the Mark V suit up version and whatnot, so all kinds of great stuff at both of these shops. Ben, you had some great ideas as per usual of a topic tonight, so I'll let you introduce it. You tell us what you got going on, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I was thinking about spring cleaning the other day because I was going through my mechanical room in the house and I was trying to tuck the Christmas tree away in like the very back of the stairs so I could fit, all the other stuff that kind of comes up over the course of the next year, including shipper boxes, naturally. And I had Shauna downstairs with me, and we just built our house 2 years ago. And at the bottom of my basement stairs, there's like this little weird pony wall, and it separates like my basement room from the stairway, but there's like a awkward 4-foot gap on the other side of this wall that I've tried to figure out what I can do with this space. I've changed it so many times, and Shauna finally said to me the other day, why don't you just take a sledgehammer, knock that wall out, because it's not a supporting wall, it's just like a little half wall at the bottom of the stairs, and then you could put another display cabinet right here. And my mind was like, I could absolutely put another display cabinet here. You are not, like, what? So I've been thinking about, like, buying a sledgehammer all week. I pulled up the blueprints on my phone, and the topic for me was, what are you doing to spring clean? But, like, what are you guys going to do with your own collections this year? What if maybe you already started? Are you purging figures to buy others? Are you just trying to make space like Marco is with his display cabinets? I want to hear from you guys. What's going on with your spring cleaning? Because I'm gonna totally buy a sledgehammer.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this, Ben, as a new homeowner myself. My house is very old. I don't have the blueprints. Do you call the builder and like confirm that that's not a load bearing wall, or are you just gonna YOLO it? Like, what's the process for this?
You can. We definitely could call the builder because
I don't just look at a wall and be like, oh yeah, that's not a load bearing wall. Like, how does anyone know these things? The blueprints, do they say which walls are load bearing?
I mean, so a load bearing wall usually is a full wall, like a half wall, like a 4-foot wall. that's just kind of like protection from falling off the stair usually isn't, because it's not supporting any load, right? It's not to the ceiling. You would see studs in a wall that is load bearing.
Oh, I see.
Typically.
I see. Okay, no, that makes sense.
So with this one,
excited.
it's got a wood structure for sure, but I'm gonna tear the shit out of it. And we've got extra carpet in the mechanical room that I found the other day, so I don't know how to lay carpet, but I'm gonna find out.
He knows how to lay pipe though. Hey yo, spring cleaning. Spring cleaning. I love this. I love this so much. So
That was cool, Zach. You should have said he knows how to munch carpet.
Wow. Oh my
wow.
God.
That you should have said that too. That would have been funny. So
I'm just happy you didn't say swallow nut. I appreciate lay pipe. It's a different direction. I'm willing to go with it.
You know what's so great though, Ben? Like if she was like, "Hey, can you go like knock down this wall outside?" You'd probably be like, "Whoa, that's way too fucking much." Like I'm not
I'll
gonna
knock
do that.
down these walls inside though.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
yo.
but if yeah, there you go. Beat the back out. But if she was like, but she was like, knock down this wall so you could like see your dolls when you walk down the stairs. You're like, you're all over it, right? Like that's where our priorities are.
Dude, what? He's gonna knock down the walls, and then she's gonna be like, on second thought.
That means in this basement, I figure I can get another 32 figures before I run out of space. Like I was calculating kind of what my end goal was for the basement based on the space. It had so much more potential, and it's just like this 4-foot gap that I've tried to stick a desk in it. I've tried to like make like walls, wall shelving on it, and taken it down. I've put my cross stitches up. Nothing looks good enough. A cabinet is going to be the way to go.
So
I will
would it
take
be
pictures
Billy-
of this demolition.
Billy cases that would go back there.
Yeah, Billy cases. Yeah,
Nice.
like the other room. I still got to do that with this wall. So this is very temporary. This is just my like Kallax setup that I used to have in the main display. But now that I've got this YouTube room all set up, it's going to be Billy's behind me again, and then Billy's at the far wall. So
Nice.
it'll add a lot of extra light and space, and I'm all excited. So all excited.
So one thing that I've been wanting to do is, let's see, where the T-Rex is right there. I'm pretty sure it would fit, but I want to add another one of these cubes on top of it to give me like space for more statues there. You can't see it, but in front of me. So since the, I'm not going to move it because I fucking suck at that. But since the showcase video of my collection, I added 2 shelves right in front of me. They're on like those little tracks, so you can adjust the shelves like whenever you want. And those are 24 by 12 shelves. And then in the photo or the video tour of the room, I had these 2 shelves here, so I could always add another shelf on top and then bring these down just a little bit. I want to, but I don't know that it's possible. I have detofs right here. I want to add something to raise them, but then I think at that point my premium format stuff would basically be like at the ceiling, and then basically just trying to use my space more efficiently, and then sorry, it's daddy duty night, and then also be able to kind of cover that window because I can't hang things on it. So it's kind of a wasted space that could be filled with another cabinet and 2 more statues. So. That's what I'm thinking. I don't really think I'm like actively considering selling some stuff. Maybe my Mafex Batman stuff, maybe on the chopping block, and I know it would get me quite a bit of money pretty quickly, but still kind of thinking about all that. But yeah, I'm curious, Dean, you obviously have a ton of space. Are you considering making any changes?
Yeah. I've been looking for a new way to do all my smaller figures, because I have 5 detofs and then I'm waiting on a 6th one, so that should be enough for all my 6 scale figures, because I've sold a lot recently. I've cut back, so I think my 6 scale figures will be fine, but it's all my smaller scale figures, like my Black Series, all my Figmas, and I've been kind of looking at like different bookcases or something. I haven't really found anything that I like, so I might just like custom build some shelves, but I might have to rearrange my entire space. But yeah, I've been kind of reboxing things and putting them in like their own spots so I could get ready to do that. So it's going to be a long time before I could have something worth even showcasing,
It's interesting you say that though too, Dean, because like I've been having a hard time with my small scale figures as well. I've got the Ninja Turtles, I've got the Batman, I've got the 2 Avatar figures, but because they obviously don't scale well with 6 scale, like I want to have like it's their own separate space. But I've thought of like floating shelves. I've thought of like maybe like little like mini like singular glass displays, cubes, similar to kind of what I have with 6 scale, but only kind of in their scale. But I just haven't found anything that I like enough. So they kind of just float around a little bit. Yeah, which is hard. It's hard.
Yeah, maybe you could use those Calax once you get the all the new setup. Maybe
I honestly don't think I'll. Then I think I don't think I'll have space. That's where I'm at. Like I have to. I'm gonna have to convert it to walls. Yeah, 100%. There you go. Shauna won't let me sneak it up the stairs. So when we first started dating, I got like one of my first Hot Toys, one of the first 5, I would say, and it was the black and white Stormtroopers. And the only reason I was able to get those at the time, like the Shadow Trooper and the Return of the Jedi Trooper, was because they were black and white and they matched the color scheme of the main floor, which was pink and gray and white and black. So
thinking about the important stuff.
Thinking about the important thing. But I've tried to sneak the white Stormtrooper up into the living room a couple times, and it's like, nope.
Put it back down.
Yeah.
Get down in your basement.
That's your zone. Yeah.
So in terms of spring cleaning, I know you alluded to it. Yeah, I've got the new Module case set up, and for me, I'm really trying to take inventory of the figures I have. So obviously I've got a DC, Marvel, Star Wars display in the Module cases, and then, with my Billies and my D-Toffs, kind of have just random figures, ones that, I like individually standing there. But yeah, it's kind of, in a perfect world, it would be easier to sell Hot Toys. Right now, obviously the market is like pretty down. So if you want to move on from something, you're really taking a loss, which I don't prefer to do. So really kind of like boxing some things up, like, okay, let me see if I can find space for it. If I can't, talk to friends, if anyone wants to maybe, take on a figure or trade for something, or, just kind of putting it away for now and seeing what the market may bear in the future. But for me, it's really about having a clean looking display. So I'm happy with how the Marvel display came out, but it's a lot of figures in there, and not necessarily my preferred way of displaying things, but it is cool to have a larger envelope to kind of see the team together. So trying a bunch of different permutations to see what maybe sticks. And certain things look too crowded, certain things feel a little bit better. So really just reshuffling the deck. And I think I'm just about out of space at this point in terms of my footprint here. So I've got to start, determining as new pre-orders come in, what's going to happen with the existing setup. So some hard conversations will need to be had with myself to, figure out where things are going here. So that's a calculus I'm doing. But for now, got some additional real estate to actually display some figures that were in boxes. So, and dusting the heck out of all these figures. I'm not good enough at that, but trying to be better about the figure maintenance for sure.
It's weird. I've never had to actually dust my figures yet. I don't know if it's just not that dusty and out west here, but you'd think it would be, because we're in a pretty dry climate. But I've been, knock on wood, fortunate, because I don't have any techniques yet. Like I'm gonna have to learn from you guys once I get to that point.
There's no windows in the basement, right?
There's no windows in the basement. I keep curtains drawn all the time. Like it's like a dark room down here with all the neon lights and stuff. But
that's awesome.
Now that you've got your Module cases set up, how are you liking your display a little bit? I know like last week you were still kind of in the process of positioning them and getting used to it. What's another week done for you?
Yeah, so shout out to my brother Graham, Jedi Knights Watch. Really looked at his Module case setup videos and his collection tour that he just posted, and he's got about 6 to 8 figures per his 6-110 display cases. I think that looks the best, right? He's got them on stands, so really similar. I kind of just ripped his DC display, so I think that's what looks best. In a perfect world, I would have everything down to like 8 figures per row, but trying some different things. And yeah, I think I like the larger envelope, but I don't know, D-Toffs are still, and Billies are a special place in my heart for sure.
For sure. When are we going to have a pose off with our Batman and Robin? I guess I need to still get my Batman, but
yeah, we need to do that.
You and I posing competition.
I like it. All right.
It'll last about 30 seconds.
That's right.
And it's ripped and it's broken.
That's right.
We're going to try posing wars with Batman and Robin. Zach, you're invited to judge, because you're a good judge. Except you never give me bonus points in Pose Wars, you bastard.
What the hell? What is this?
John gives me more bonus points than you do, so that's the way she goes.
Am I supposed to give bonus points to specific people because they want them?
100%.
Gotta earn those bonus points. Baby.
That's true. Earn them. If I don't get disqualified from a round, we'll be good.
Well, that's your
Good
fault.
God.
That is your fault, my friend.
Great job
That's-
keeping the show going there, Ben. You could
Yeah,
pretty much
only-
host it now. I think we could boot Zach. I think.
Well,
You
okay.
hate to see it. I don't know if I'm that entertaining.
Well, we still have to make up 50
bit of a
minutes, so
stretch.
we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because, now that I've filled all the sort of like floor level space with everything. Now it's time to start building up, and I think that's kind of where I'm at. Victoria still won't let me put anything outside of the office, but I'm trying to whittle her down. But no, I'm really excited. Like adding these shelves is something I've wanted to do for quite a while, so that was nice. And just trying to stay organized, trying to keep things nice and tidy. I'm working on 3D printing some different things for shelves in the DTOF to make them be able to display figures taller or lower. Maybe add more shelves for miniatures. So lots of.
Have you
lots
thought
of
about
fun
having
things.
less Gandalfs?
No, never.
Just a
crossed my
thought,
mind. Never, ever once crossed my mind.
No, you have the goated Gandalf display for sure.
I actually just added another one. Boys, we have hot seat, and I had questions for all of you guys, but then I noticed something today, and I kind of just want to ask you all the same question. So, who wants to start off? And while you guys are thinking, Marco, you also earned a minute for your hot seat. Let me get the banners up here. So, Marco, go ahead and take your approximately minute amount of time. And the floor is all yours for you to say whatever you want.
Very good. Am I going to get the solo cam as well, or?
Yeah, sorry.
Hell yeah. All right.
I love you ask for the solo cam. I'm like, you can keep me on the.
Of course.
the
Give me the
screen.
one.
Give me the.
So,
Earn this.
I will just say, so I think I don't need to take the full minute because my message here is pretty brief. And again, this is not me being on a soapbox because I'm in no way a perfect person. I've learned the hard way with pretty much everything in my life, but be kind to your fellow collectors, to your fellow, human beings here. I think just try to treat everyone with respect. Try to see things through other people's eyes. Appreciate that someone maybe has a different viewpoint than you, maybe does things differently from you. And we can disagree. That's totally fine. I think, even on the CW panel, we've gotten heated before. We've disagreed very strongly. I've called Ben names before, but, we move forward as brothers. So I would just say, if you think that you maybe are participating in not being kind to somebody, just take a step back, reevaluate. And I know for me, it's like so easy with technology. I want to jump in and maybe say something that I think would be funny. And I'm like, it's actually kind of hateful what I was about to type out. It's actually not funny at all. So I catch myself, kind of leaning into some toxic behavior every now and then. And just hope that everyone can, again, just be kind and love one another because there's just not enough love in this world. And watching The Last of Us has made me want to be a better person as well. So that's all I have to say. That's it.
Isn't it the show where they shoot and rob and they try to
that's right.
rape each other and
but
that's what gave you?
There's a beauty in it though, The Last of Us. Anyways, I lost my point really.
The robbed of humanity aspect
right.
of it is beautiful. I get you. I get what you're picking up. What you're putting down.
I'm just saying Frank and Bill found love in a very
hopeless
spoilers there. Sorry about that.
Wow.
In
Second time I've
a
been
bleak
spoiled today.
universe. I know.
Oh my
Yikes.
I hate to see
They
it.
found love in a
That
hopeless
is
place.
beautiful. That is beautiful, Marco.
They
That
found
was-
love in a hopeless place. You're gonna get claimed. I'm sorry.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's okay. I'm used to it.
By the way, Marco, you
Anyways.
say mean things about me, like behind my back, or like
No,
Oh,
to your
especially-
face all the
to my face.
time.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, naturally.
Literally-
As long as
literally, I'm
as long
like-
as you still say the nice things behind your back, that we're good.
Of course,
we're
of
good.
course, no. Anything that I would ever say behind your back, I would say directly to your face, and that applies with
That's fair.
everyone.
I thought those
But sometimes-
those random little pictures of beds you keep sending me are
That's
confusing, though. It's confusing.
Oh man, but yeah, sometimes it's like, all right, maybe it's a little too far. Maybe we're a little too hard on Ben. So. But it's how we show our love sometimes.
I'll just
How
eat
I
another
show my
Canadian
love.
poutine
Bro,
and we're good to go.
That's my big problem. That's how I show my love and affection is like I'm an asshole. That's hard, dude.
Same, but Dean, you're really good at striking the balance. You give a little smile, a little laugh afterwards. Everyone knows that you're Even when you say "eat my ass," I'm like, yeah, I'd actually love to.
Yeah, I don't actually mean that. Yeah.
Oh man, I wish you did though.
One could be so lucky. It's a whole lot of eating. 1 minute on the clock, Dean.
Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed today. Almost sneezed. I noticed today that Antman is MMS 692, 691. Let me double check.
691, I think. 690 or 691. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Jesus. What is your guess and why for the figure that will be MMS 700? And because we will likely see it this month, if not next, if any of you guess correctly, I will add 5 bonus points to your score. Character, outfit, give me as much specifics as you can.
700? I mean, they're at 691. That's still 8 figures away.
Well, we announced 2 today, so you're wasting your own time.
That's too far to.
9 figures? There's some weeks they announce 4 or 5 figures.
Yeah, but it's like, well, are they all going to come from Ant-Man? Are they all come from Star Wars? Are they going to come from DC?
Like, you're thinking too much into this, Dean. I'm going to give you one of these.
No, that you can't answer that question. It's like they could announce more Avatar figures. They could announce more.
So you're just guessing. You're not. Yeah, you're just kind of throwing a guess out there. Like,
okay,
I feel like you're over.
What do you want 700 to be, Dean?
Yes, okay. You're just taking a gander.
Honestly, 700 it's probably gonna be another Iron Man if I had to fucking.
Okay, be a little bit more specific.
Hold on, let me fucking go.
Well, you got fucking 5 seconds. You wasted your time arguing about the question.
Well, no, you didn't ask a good question.
That's a great question.
That's a
every time we get
question.
near, every time we get near, like a round number, everyone's always like, "What's it gonna be? What this and that." I give you, sir,
Dean, it's a hot seats question. You still have to try and answer the question. You can't just argue
but he
the
brought
question.
up Ant-Man for no reason. Like, so
I brought up Ant-Man because it's.
I was like, they're not going to announce 9 Ant-Man figures.
I brought up Ant-Man because it's 692. That means we're 8 away.
You could have just been like, we're coming up on 700. What do you think it's going to be?
Well, because then your question, well, how far are we?
The fact that we're still arguing is not a good question.
Well, because you're a dingus. That's why.
No.
Ben, answer the question, please.
Off
Show
the
the man how
rails.
it's done.
I feel like it's a missed opportunity.
No,
that it's not
because he's had this whole time to think about it. He gets a different question.
it's
the whole thing was that's one question for everybody.
Oh. I would like to see an announcement of the T800 or a new Terminator from Hot Toys. That or the the Batman Michael Keaton version finally to be released, because they would be bangers. They're considered grails. They're in desperate need, in my opinion, of some reissues. It's a bit of a missed opportunity because MMS 800 would be cool if it was the T800 at the same time. Thoughts, but T800, a Joker, or a Batman would be the 3 I would hope for as kind of an exciting rounded 700 number that I want as
picked 3
on the shelf.
figures.
I picked. Well, my first was the Terminator, and then I gave other examples.
Oh my god, Zach, you're on mute, bro.
I was saying that's 3 more than you picked.
Yeah, you're not clear on it.
How was that not clear? Why are you still? Would you like another chance? Would you like another chance?
No, but it's
I'll give him another chance.
That's a great
you said
question.
Pick one and be specific, and he just named 3, and you're like, cool.
At least he named one.
So what is it?
Look, for 50
Which is
seconds,
it?
you argued about the question.
I said Iron Man, and you gave me a. So what the fuck?
I said be specific. There's 85.
But he's
Iron
just
Man
didn't be specific. So which is it? You can't have both. You can't have both. Either it's not specific or it's specific.
I know exactly.
I was totally specific.
Hang on. I know exactly the button that I need to press. Here we go. Let me find it.
This is my show. I do what the hell I want on my show.
Oh, if that's the case, then what's the point of participating if you're just going to change the rules whenever?
We've always said that as the judge, I am judge,
is it
jury,
specific
and executioner.
or is it not specific?
I did say my final answer was Terminator.
Thank you,
initially.
Ben. Thank you.
That was my final answer. I just gave 2 more examples because I had a whole minute to kill.
Which Terminator? That's not specific.
I said the T800. I said it would be cool if it was 800.
Which T800, man?
Terminator?
It's fucking
Yeah.
5.
Why do I have to be more specific than the T800? My time's not even still on. I'm no longer in the hot seat. I don't get what. This is
Eddie
an extra
Rodriguez
round of
says,
hot seat. I hate to see it.
Marco just got done preaching about more love in this world.
I was going to say how ironic it was that after I got off my soapbox, we immediately started bickering.
Face to face with a dingus
So
like
perfect. So
What
fucking
the
perfect.
hell? How dare you?
Boy, what the... Oh my
dare
god,
you.
such perfect timing.
Oh my God, no way.
Incredible.
Marco,
you owe me
1
a
minute.
Jordan would have never wore those. All
I
right,
also
so
only got one dingle, by the way. It was one.
is it my minute or your
I
minute,
want a
Ben?
ding.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ben, shut the hell up.
So so a lot of them come to mind here. I'm looking at like what movies may be upcoming. We know Shazam is coming, so maybe they give us a Shazam figure soon. We know Mandalorian season 3 is about to drop, so that's a strong contender. I'm thinking maybe an Iron Man. I'm thinking maybe Mark II diecast would be like a really strong one for them to do. I don't know how many times they've released that guy, but a properly scaled Mark II would be perfect. And I'm also thinking, oh gosh, it's completely gone. I think I deserve the buzzer now because I had it in my mind and it's completely disappeared here. There you go. That's it. So last figure I'm going with Iron Man Mark II, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. How many times they've released it?
I thought you were messing with Dean when you said another Iron Man. I was expecting
No,
him to
that's the
lose
most
his
logical conclusion.
Would you like
Shazam
another
figure
go,
would be sweet.
Dean?
Give him
Just to-
30 seconds.
To put one out there into the world, Dean, for your potential 5 points.
No.
All right. Well, my idea for MMS 700, I think it would be nice if we get the long-awaited Nurse Joker by Hot Toys. That would be
nice.
that would
And
be
I
my
just
guess.
remembered which one. This isn't going to be my guess, but I was going to say Han Solo, the indoor Han Solo. Come on, bring it back. We need a Harrison Ford
Dude,
Wow.
that'd be decent.
reissue. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Well, after that exciting, exhilarating hot seat, we're going to the exciting, exhilarating Blockbuster. Dean, what is your problem? Why are you being a negative Nancy today? Shaking your
What
head.
are you talking about? Oh, you
Look at
mean the
you.
movie we've already reviewed?
Yeah, 80 weeks ago.
It's the same movie.
Oh God. Well, Dean's having a rough night tonight, guys. Alien in deep space, the crew of the commercial starship Nostromo is awakened from their cryo sleep capsules halfway through their journey home to investigate a distress call from an alien vessel. The terror begins and the crew encounters a nest of eggs inside the alien ship. An organism from inside an egg leaps out and attaches itself to one of the crew, causing him to fall into a coma. I love this movie. As Dean mentioned, we've reviewed this in the past, but lately in the comments a lot on our show, on some of the other videos we've been doing, on Small Talk even, there's been a lot of love for this film and this franchise. And so we kind of gaffed on our previous pick, had a little bit of technical issues, so we had to kind of change it last minute. And, the fans had been wanting this movie. It's a movie well seen, so we went ahead and reviewed it. But yeah, this is a classic movie. I think Sigourney Weaver, one of my favorite roles of hers. Iconic, the xenomorph, the big chap, just amazing special effects, amazing costume work. Yeah, this movie has it all, and it's one of those movies that's so good. And there's a few of them, right? Like Terminator 2, right, where the original is incredible, and the sequel is somehow better. So yeah, this is a great movie. I think at some point it'd be great to re-review Aliens again. John's not here, so let me pull up the Rotten Tomatoes for you guys. Rotten Tomatoes on this one is, as my internet's running slow, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes for the tomato meter and 94% for the audience score. So a great film. Yeah. I think I don't know who's going to pick movie of the week next week, but we'll probably pick something new. But yeah, good film, great special effects, great plot, great story. Inspired the whole genre of film, in my opinion. So definitely a good one if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, this cast is pretty incredible. Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver, obviously, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm. I think when we watched this last time, we had watched like 5 Ian Holm movies back to back to back. I was like, holy shit, Ian Holm is in this. Yeah, just a really classic, like, kind of set the standard on like what a sci-fi film should be. Because it's kind of a bleak film, not very hopeful. You never feel like, yay, you know what I mean? It's always like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen now? Super good. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong watching Alien. Fantastic movie.
When the alien bursts out of the guy's chest, that still gets me every time. I'm like, the special effects hold up in my opinion. I thought that was pretty cool. It had been a while since I'd seen this movie, but the first scene in this movie where it's kind of that really long, continuous hallway kind of transition, that was like a first of its time shot back when this film came out. Like, they used to have to do cutscenes, but they actually, I think it was either the camera or the film type itself, they made specifically so that Ridley Scott could have this ongoing shot all the way through that first portion of the movie where they're kind of setting the tone of what the ship is like and stuff before they come out of cryosleep. So I thought that was cool, like, to kind of look back at that more like film history side of it and watch that scene again. Obviously, like you guys said, Sigourney Weaver is a badass. She's a cutie back then and still is, honestly, a badass lady and cutie at this point in her life. She's been going a long time. Considering this is from 1979, like that's a lot of years in film that she's been banging out some pretty crazy awesome movies, including Avatar recently, where she still played a whole character in that. Like, it's blows my mind. So anyways, I really enjoyed this film. It was a good rewatch. I love the tone of it. Like you said, Dean, it is a little bleak for sure. But you feel it the whole film, you know, like you're kind of just waiting for that next step. And you kind of, like, I knew what was going to happen because I'd seen it years ago, but just kind of knowing what was coming. And then I love the fact that they take a while to show the alien too. They really build that suspense, the xenomorph. They take a while to show it, and when they finally do, I feel like the reveal is a good payoff. It's scary. The special effects still hold up. It looks gooey and gross and definitely freaky. So, and like you said, it spawned a whole series of movies. Now I'm interested in watching the rest of them if I can find the time. So yeah, good pick.
Just wake up at 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
There you go. You can watch.
Actually, wake up at 2 a.m. so we can play Elden Ring, and then
it's a good
I
idea.
like it. So, you know, I'm a big fan of more stripped down storytelling. You don't always have to have all the bells and whistles, you know, in order to wow me. And I think this is like a pretty simple, you know, film that kind of relies on you not seeing, you know, the threat for a fair amount of the time, right? Like, it's really building tension, and obviously you mentioned when it's from, so there were obviously technical limitations, but you know, all the special effects are incredible. I still am a much bigger fan of the second film. I think in that instance, the ramping up and additional budget and, you know, the advancements in technology just make for a more memorable movie, in my opinion. I know this one is widely revered as the best of, you know, I don't know how many they had now, but let's just say the original trilogy. But you know, to me, the second film is just significantly stronger because we get to see those real threats like more often. And so, but yeah, for everything that this movie does for its time, absolutely incredible. I will say, you know, like obviously T2 is more revered as the stronger film of that trilogy, or how many films they've got there. But yeah, so obviously that ramps up similar to the second film of this trilogy. And so, yeah, I'm okay sometimes with them adding additional bells and whistles, with them going and advancing the story. So for me, this is one that I enjoy, but is not one that I often go back to, only because it is a bit more stripped down. It is like, it's hard to, you know, revisit that tension after you've kind of seen the movie a handful of times. So for me, not an all-time in my top 20 list, but definitely one that I'm glad that I revisited and may do so, you know, in the future. But if I'm putting on a film, it's definitely going to be Aliens normally. So
quick question then for you guys. Alien, versus Predator, which one would you choose?
Predator.
Or Alien?
Are you talking about which one do we enjoy more, or the two are fighting? Because definitely
Well,
Predator.
if the two are fighting, who do you think, and who do you like
Predator.
more? What do you like watching more? You think Predator would win still?
I like watching Alien more, but I mean, in AVP, there's like 3 fucking Predators, and like 1,000 aliens, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
The movie does exist, so it does taint the question slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always prefer Alien. The Predator movies are a little more like campy. Like they're more lighthearted than they are, like I said, like kind of depressing.
Goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
What the fuck? So I'm more of an Alien person. Not that I don't enjoy the Predator movies; they're great in their own way, but they're just like so different,
Such absolutely iconic designs and incredible films. But I've always been a fan of the Xenomorph. Just the design is just so cool. Like just such a badass. Like everything about it is almost perfection. So I would say Alien over Predator for sure.
Have you guys considered trying to pick up any of the Alien figures from the past, or waiting to see if they ever come back?
They'd have to come back for me. I can't collect backwards for that.
Can't collect
I
backwards.
think they're too damn pricey.
Yeah, I think I saw one for like $500 on the buy sell trade group recently. It seemed pricey, but yeah, cool. Aliens for me as well. I would go with Aliens if I had to choose between the two. Although the new Predator film that had released, Prey, did really reinvigorate my love for the Predators, and I think it would be cool to see an Alien film like set in that kind of time period as well, but something along those lines.
Agreed. I had that same thought, Ben. It's almost like they need a little light reboot to kind of set up an Alien versus Predator in that newly founded cool world. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Dean, you didn't want to pick a replacement movie? We'll just go to John's pick.
No. We'll let him pick.
All right. So we'll get you guys a movie up on Ox hopefully tomorrow or Thursday. That we will have plenty of time to watch it. So stay tuned on Auxiliary for that. Dean, can we shout out the pillars that keep the network going, please?
Yeah, give a quick shout out to the sweet angels, the 3 pillars, the beautiful souls. Sean Fear, Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, and Kevin, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Breda, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns, Figs, Bad Fish, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krepp, Big Old Fern, King Zach, Caesar Merrick-Win, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick DeGregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Halid Morgan, Tucothry, Wad, Derek B., Arias Portillo, Mark Randolph, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, Carlos Saavedra, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Madon, Jimmy James, Stephen Pritchett, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. What a bunch of angels.
Sweet guys. February Patreon benefits. We're in progress on that. The Blockbuster membership card. We'll get these printed and laminated. They'll be single-sided and they'll be neat. So make sure if you want one, you're in the proper tier. For March, we're doing a Papa Ox sticker. Shout out to Manny for both of the designs that he worked on for these.
So good.
Yeah, it's a funny story on the Papa Ox one, but we'll share it another time. Patreon starts at $5 for the digital hot seat tier, $7.50 for the Sweet Angel tier, sticker sent straight to your door, and access to Ox After Dark replay. The $15 certified crispy certificate on your first pledge, and figure fix assistance, and the $25 What a Guy tier. You get the exclusive Pog Deluxe set on your first pledge, and doubles of all the stickers we send, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. YouTube channel members, we have Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, DK Avenger 702, OMF Jurek, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big Ol' Fern, Cram, Victor Juarez, OG Fan, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Carlito, CT603, Eddie, Money, Mendez, Sia Dreams, JC, Beachhand, Fat Batman, and Justin Sports Card Museum. YouTube membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you are not. And yeah, you get cool loyalty badges, emojis, and shoutouts. Looking at the network, we have After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Should be a fun show. Hopefully Lane's power is working, which I think it is, and hopefully we'll be able to have him on again, along with our normal cast of folks. Thursday, I need to double check with Ian because I know they were kind of shifted by a week for OFAC, but I believe we'll be having OFAC on Thursday, and then Club Friday at 10:30. Saturday, nothing so far, but we will let you guys know depending on how things go. But last Saturday we did have the part 1 of our season finale for Live and Let Dice. So if you're into D&D or just want to show support for that show, it's a long one. It's like 6 hours, but definitely a lot of fun there. TeePublic, if you guys want to get some swag from the network, you can get them there. I recommend waiting for a sale, which I think they're doing right now. But always try to get those for like that 30% off, $13. And then as far as our socials go, Facebook, Collecting Weekly, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, Instagram at Collecting Weekly, at Collecting Weekly _clips, and at The Everyday Collector. Also, be sure to subscribe to our friends on their links there. Ben, Marco, do you guys have anything you guys want to shout out today? Things you got going on your channel? I know, Ben, you got a big milestone coming up, so not sure if you figured out how you're going to celebrate that, but let us know.
So I'm open to suggestion. I was thinking, like you guys were suggesting earlier, that I should stream from bed, mostly because I'm at 980 subscribers on the Ben Thomas Show. I definitely want to thank you guys for all the support that you've given me. You've helped to have, give me a voice in the community, which is really awesome. Getting started with Marco over at 16fix there, and then of course getting Zach's input on my mic the first time I bought it was all exciting, and then of course gaming with Dean and all the good things. So, and then everybody in the chat, everybody that's subscribed to me, I appreciate your support. It's been amazing. I'm excited to try and figure out something new for the channel next year. Again, maybe we'll do the Ben Thomas Show occasionally, and kick Shauna out, or she can stay. I mean, she doesn't sleep in pajamas, so it would have to be an After Dark episode for sure. And I told her I was going to say that, by the way, Zach. So I'm not in trouble.
Wow. I was like, this boy's done.
She advertised it. Wow,
all right.
So she was like, if you need more subscribers, you just tell me. I'm like, oh my god.
Wait, that's for both of our channels.
I told her to get
OnlyFans.
Right. So no,
incredible.
But I love you guys. I love everybody in the chat. Thanks for the support. If for some reason you have not subscribed to the Ben Thomas Show, please do so. Check it out. And we'll hopefully get to that 1,000 sooner than later. And I'm not going to give the Shadow Trooper away, Pablo Meza. That's a beauty. I'm going to have to sit on that one for a little while longer. Maybe the 5K if I ever get
give
there.
away Bane. You get a new one.
So I can't really give away Bane because I actually thought about that, but I got that figure loose back in the day for $100.
I'll take
so
it.
It's literally just
you can just give it to
figure.
me. That's fine.
Yeah,
I know. you even had Will Foxification getting on your side.
I want a
with
Bane
that.
bad, dude. I
that.
fucking
I saw
love
that.
Bane, dude.
So,
There was
I
one in the
love Tom
BST group today for $150.
I don't want to pay for it. The last time I tried to buy something on BST, this fucking prick was like blocked me and then like made a fucking smart ass comment. So
I had a great transaction with that individual, so I think the problem is you. But anyways,
I just asked him if the price was firm. There was no, usually people say price is firm. I just asked, is the price firm? And he blocked me. And then the next day he reposted it. It's like, what the hell?
with the updated thing that said price is firm, it's like you could have just.
But then he
said
reposted
that.
it the next day. So it's like, bro, you didn't sell it for what you wanted.
Incredible.
Like I would have bought it if you were willing to wheel a deal, but nah.
I will say shout out to you boys. So on our channel though, Gigi and I will be doing a pod here soon. Maybe look out for a Bargain Bin Bros this Friday. Normally we like to do them around 9 a.m. Pacific time. So look for that announcement on Instagram. And then a shout out to you boys for devolving into absolute madness after I was on about being kind to one another. That was just incredible. An all-time great moment since I've been on the show. Just the hypocrisy from us was just at an all-time great. So yeah, love you guys for that.
I still thought Dean's take was very respectful. I appreciated it. I'll still love you at the end of the day, buddy. It's cool. But By the way, I like that she earlier walked in the room and then realized like you were streaming. So then she got in like stealth mode and tried to stealth mode behind the desk.
Well,
very
no,
badass.
she's very embarrassed about being on camera. It's not that she's like trying to be silly. She just doesn't. Oh, okay.
I am not.
We're live. You want to say hi to the people? No? Okay.
Hi to the
You had your
TV.
chance. Yeah. Well, so there's that. Now she's just being silly. Okay, bye, baby. Anyways, yeah. I thought we had an okay show today. Maybe not our finest work, but we
had
got
fun.
to the end.
I had a great time. I don't know about
They
you.
can't all be winners, can they, kid?
Right, you do 255 shows. Gonna have a dud every once in a while. Anyways,
Dean woke us
There
up
was
all in the
nothing
middle
wrong
of
with
the
this
night.
episode. It was great. What are you talking about?
it's half an hour too short, half an hour late. Dean was
You can't
screaming
force.
at me the
You
whole
can't
time.
force perfect. You can't.
There was
force
just
added
not a
time.
lot of figure
Exactly.
news this week.
There's not.
dude.
It's the way she goes. I'm gonna go to bed immediately. I am really tired. So
Okay,
you
time out.
guys.
I was like half paying attention, and it just clicked what you just said, Ben. What? Rewind to what you were saying about you're doing an After Dark, and Shauna's doing what? And then you're talking about OnlyFans. Rewind that whole thing. Vivi was in the corner, and I was like, diverting attention, and everything just kind of clicked right now.
So I
for
told
me.
you guys a little while ago that Sean and I went to the
Okay.
Calgary
Oh.
Taboo Show, which is
Okay.
basically the Calgary
Yes.
Sex Show. And
course.
while we were walking around there, all these young ladies were getting their breasts painted. And she was like, I want to get my boobs painted. And I was like, oh, like, but it's like
What, using acrylic?
it's like, yeah, like it's like $70 though. Like, are you sure you want to, like, this was like halfway through the night.
Man, go to
She was
Walmart
like-
and do that for free, my guy.
and she was like, I want to do it. Like, I think it would be cool, right? And I'm like, all the power to you. I was like, but if you're going to spend the $70, I'd almost recommend you do it next year, because then you can walk around the whole show for the whole
Yeah,
evening.
get your money's
and
worth.
get your money's worth, right? And she was kind of bummed about it. I think at the end of the day, she had wanted to do it, but she ended up talking to a girl there who ran an OnlyFans booth. And this girl she was a radiologist, had a great job, making over $40 an hour in the past. When COVID hit, she started an OnlyFans page. And in the last 2 years, she was able to prove to folks that she'd made $4 million in 2 years off of her OnlyFans.
Damn.
$4 million. So,
I'm starting an OnlyFans. I'm getting that Rivendell, baby.
So Sean and I,
Thirsty-ass
like,
dudes out there, dude.
Sean and I have a very strong relationship. We're not having kids ever. Like, it's just not in our cards. And so she was like, we don't have to worry. Like, I don't give a shit what family thinks. So, like, we don't have anything to be embarrassed about. Like, maybe I'll start an OnlyFans page at some point. And
Dude, when you're fucking raking in $4 million in 2 years, you don't have shit to prove to anybody. Fuck that.
And I was like, well, maybe I should as well. And she's like, absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Double standard.
You are
huh?
not allowed. Yeah, I'm not
Those
allowed.
tough nuts are hers and hers alone,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Wow.
She's like, you have your figures and your Hot Toys and your buddies on there. She was like, I could not handle other women looking at you. So,
Wow.
not that I think I'd be
Wow.
successful in any way. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
she's got.
I bet you
she's got
should
all
get
the
to
looks of the family, but
Yeah, she would get to 1,000 a lot faster than you. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. I'm losing subscribers on the Ben Thomas show as we speak. People are jumping ship just in case. So yeah. So anyway, so that's why when I said if I stream from bed, she may be there, because I
see.
can't control her. She lives her
she's
own
a-
destiny.
Launch
She's a
party,
modern
huh?
woman.
Yeah, she's probably half naked watching Trailer Park Boys right now, asleep in her pillow. So you love to see it.
Incredible.
Love Trailer Park Boys. You just says some women have life on easy mode. I can only envy. Tremble does the TBH2 feed pics. You may profit well at OnlyFans.
She actually
Look at that, Ben.
suggested starting with feet pics, but I was like, I don't know if there's enough of a
Ben, I don't want
market
to see your
for
feet,
that.
Ben. Come on.
Right? Nobody does.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyways, well,
Very,
Well, dude,
very
you know what
side
they
note,
said,
very
man.
after dark segment of the main show.
That's
Here.
okay.
We've got
OnlyFans
Dark.
is, just supplying commands. That's the way she goes.
supply.
a nut in the hand is worth two in the bees or something like that. Right, Ben?
Should we just start the show over again? Run the intro again. Let's just run it
Yeah,
back.
let's do it. I think this is going off into a much better. Damn, where's my button at?
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection. These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Congrats
Incredible.
to our coworker
really
PewDiePie. Well, I need to make it to 2 hours. Congrats to our coworker PewDiePie, pregnant, expecting. No, I did have one thing I wanted to say.
Well, I thought I was doing the cold open. Do you guys ever have regrets when it comes to being impatient? Sorry, Zach.
I'm gonna ask two things. Okay, I'm gonna ask you two things because this is such a good question that I need to know. Okay, so it starts with a story. What was it? Friday. I was looking on eBay, and I have a saved search for Asmus Gandalf, as one would imagine. Now, I have been trying to buy the Gandalf the White, like the standard, the first release with the terrible head, since they announced the new one. I did a video on my channel, or our channel, a long time ago, where I compared all the Gandalf the Greys, and it didn't go viral, but a lot of people said that, like, hey, I learned a lot from this, right? At least seeing like the figures together. And so I've wanted to do that to compare, how far that they have come, right? Now, Asmus recently released the portrait for the Gandalf the White as an upgrade. So you could basically just buy that, and the joint is the reason why they didn't use the magnets on the new figure is so that they can retrofit it to the old one. For 4 years, they've been saying they were going to make a new head, and they finally did it. They delivered. So rewinding just a little bit, my Gandalf the White did have a small issue that developed like after I shot the video. The rooted head connects to that joint, and the glue kind of got messed up. So I've been going back and forth with Asmus, and it was Chinese New Year or whatever. And we ended up coming to like a comparable agreement. They gave me a coupon code. I was able to use it on a new head sculpt, and I got to keep my old one. For me, I was concerned that, if I shipped them the old one, it's going to be quite expensive. I think the shipping quotes I got were like almost like $80 to ship a box to China with insurance and tracking. But two, if the new one comes back and breaks, then I'm basically exactly where I am now, and I would have spent some money, shipping that head sculpt back, because that would be on my own money. So I ordered the head, and I found this Gandalf, and I've been looking for one for a while, and I've wanted to pay about $50, and of course the idiots on OSRBST laughed at my $50 offer, whatever, not a big deal, but I knew that I could get one for $50, like roundabout. So again, Friday I see this thing pop up, and it's ending on Sunday evening. So I message a guy like, hey, I'm interested to buy this. You have no bids. Starting bid's $50. Would you be interested in hearing an offer to end the auction early and just ship it today? He's like, no, I've had a ton of messages, a lot of interest in this figure. I'm gonna let the auction run out, which that's fine, totally fine. I was gonna offer him about $100 because at this point maybe my $50 offer was too small, and so I just put a save search on, like an alert. And I ended up winning the figure for $51 because there was one other person bidding. My question for you, which one I'm really happy because that was exactly what I wanted to pay. So the haters at the groups that were laughing at me, how dare you?
This is the longest question ever, by the way.
Hey, Ben, we listened to you talk about OnlyFans for 4 minutes. So shut down.
Jesus.
I expect you to sing me the question here shortly.
Fuck, Ben.
Take me out for dinner as well.
Fuck, I'm weaving the story, Ben. Fuck, man. My question for you is, you're bidding on something on eBay, or you want to bid on something on eBay. The clock is ticking down. When do you place your bid? I placed mine at 20 seconds, and by the time the bid processed, it was about down to 10, and I was freaking out that the dude was going to snipe. And it processed way faster than I thought. Now, without using a bot, I guess would be the question.
So 20 seconds, what's the rationale behind that? Because if it gets out,
so my question is,
a few more.
Okay, so there was already a bid there when I started, right? It was $50 bid. My 20 seconds rationale was if I put in a bid and it screen goes red, I can probably quickly submit another bid at like 10 seconds to like win it.
Yeah.
That's my rationale, but I've also been fucked pretty hard by that. So I'm curious for you guys that bid, what do you do? And it's funny because the guy, you can set like a bid up to amount. The guy didn't. He just put like a $50 bid and just let it ride.
Yeah, I'm usually the same way. I'll wait until it's, down to the wire. Because, you could usually get in a couple more bids before the 20-second ends. So, I'm about the same.
Yeah. Tremble says 51 seconds. DJ says 20 to 15. Sam says 10. USB says I bid at 6 seconds.
Yeah, I normally try to get in around that like 5 or 6 second mark, but that doesn't leave you a lot of room for error, right? Yeah.
So do you go with like a big dick bid? Or like what do you do?
I normally don't. I'm very frugal.
Yeah,
I will set my bid, and if I lose, I lose.
Yeah, I'll bid. The first bid, I'll bid like $1 more than the current bid. Because if they're using a bot, it'll go up automatically.
Yeah.
So if it gets
or just like the eBay, automatic bidder.
Yeah. So if it gets it within like the 10 seconds and it keeps going up, then I just do like my max bid. And then if I lose it, I lose it. It's like I'm not paying over, let's just say it's $70. Even if it's, that's it. So if I don't win it, I don't win it.
Yeah, because I bid up to 80. I would have spent 100 like to just end it and not be stressed. But I think I set my max bid at like 81. I always do like a weird number, right? Like 82 or like 83, like some random number.
Yeah,
because usually when people are bidding, they'll be like, they go in like 5 or 10 increments. That's helped me a few times. Ben says, Shauna says 10 seconds or doesn't count. You love it. Yeah, I don't know.
That was
I hate
for the
bidding.
private chat, okay? That was for you guys only.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Holy
It was in
cow.
the private chat, though. I wrote it to you because I didn't think I should say it.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm sorry.
Wow, I've never put anything in the private chat ever again.
No,
Not safe.
right? There's nothing.
It ain't
There's no safe zone. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hang on, Ben. I got something for you. God damn it!
A man can only admit when he was wrong and ask forgiveness.
Dean's favorite clip
don't
right
like
there.
That clip. I can't believe there's some people that don't like that clip. That's my favorite clip.
Holy shit.
Anyways, Dean, we have a very special. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna run through the whole show again.
You guys ready?
Anyways. Yeah, I think you've righted all wrongs. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for everyone in the chat that tuned in to watch. We appreciate you guys. Ben, I apologize for invalidating the trust of the private chat. You hate to see it. Anyways, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.